inside forests.
Somehow I feel like Luke's gonna just die before the end of this podcast.
What's up, Cho? It's Cho boy, the L man.
Me and Luke are going to start a Twitch stream of Fortnite.
Oh,
That's
how
what
are
I'm
you?
trying to get him. I'm trying to talk him into.
Oh, yeah, man. We can come to my house and play.
Dude, it's so much fun getting yelled at by 12-year-olds.
Yeah, I bet.
Herman, what are you doing?
Herman, no.
The other fun thing is, sometimes you'll get paired up with people, like a group of guys who all know each other that are like older, and they just tear you to shreds.
It's like, what the hell are you doing?
And they are on Twitch, and they're making
Probably.
money, and they're making money on tearing you to shreds.
Ninja?
And he's white.
PewDiePie?
He's like a Fortnite master or something like that.
Yeah.
He posts videos about it.
Ninja's the one that got Drake to play with him.
I'm like not even in the Twitch world, but I know who Ninja is because he's so big and popular in that world that you can't even escape him.
Exactly.
He's so big.
He's a giant of the genre.
Yes.
Great living too, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, trillions of dollars.
They do make a ton of money.
That's what we need to start doing
That's me. It's me, Chaboy, the L man.
with that beer.
Please,
tagline.
please don't call
Duh.
yourself
Yeah,
up.
please
The
stop.
L. Man.
All right, let's do this.
The L man.
Alex, glad you're here, man.
Thanks.
God, I hate
You in town for the
flyers.
weekend?
Yes.
Freaking weekend.
Freaking weekend, baby. About to have me some fun.
Crystal puppet in the church navigator.
What's that song?
I got what?
What is that
What's the
song?
next line? I got
Food
Honey's on my
everywhere.
lap.
He's got food everywhere, as if the party was catered.
oh, that was it.
Got honey's to my left, left.
Yeah.
Honey's to no fellas to my left, left. Honey's to my
R. Kelly's just peeing on all of them.
Now to the show is the
Does it make you want to change? Like
your life.
that song.
I don't like singing that anymore because R. Kelly's like a rapist and
No, that song makes me
pedophile.
that song makes me want to party.
Yeah, I get that. It's like I stopped listening to Kanye West when he was like psycho.
You missed his new album.
You
Yeah.
miss Poopity
It-
Scoop.
Doesn't
It's
bother me,
good.
not one bit.
He didn't miss Poopity Scoop. We played the whole thing
Oh,
the other
good.
day.
Oh yeah.
You missed.
No, I closed my ears.
You missed. I thought about killing you today.
Yeah.
Premeditated murder.
Was that a song to Kim?
Yeah.
No. No, I'm just testing it.
I did not like the new Kanye album. I
Premeditated
did not
murder.
appreciate it that
The
much.
first song's not very good.
Yikes.
Nor the rest.
I like the rest. I don't listen to it.
Uh,
I'll listen to it again.
Which is the Medulla Oblongata one? Medulla Oblongata. You know, it's a guy.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I heard the new Kid Cudi Kanye one is really good. That's what everyone's saying.
Is it out today?
I don't know.
It's supposed to be.
All right, let's start.
Is it 35536? Is that right? The number?
Yeah, 35536.
536. Okay, great. Okay, let's do the damn thing.
You watch How to Train Your Dragon.
True.
All right, here we go.
Oh,
Linked to down to down. Yeah,
Miffed and peeved.
miffed and peeved. That's a way of saying like you're angry or you're mad.
Don't be miffed and peeved.
Miffed. Don't be miffed and peeved.
I know it.
It's the real world. It's a real. It's real.
It's real.
I don't.
That's a real one?
I don't use it, but it's
Not in your vocab? Down to dunk.
Yes.
This is Stephen Adams. Don't be miffed and peeved. No, you can't be miffed and peeved. Sorry. This is Stephen Adams. You can't be miffed and peeved because you're listening to Down to Dunk.
Good morning and welcome to episode 5, 3, 6 of Down to Dunk. You can find us on CLNS Media, DailyThunder.com, Radio at 5 p.m. Central Standard Time, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or of course, anywhere you subscribe to your podcast. I am Luke. Joined this morning by Andrew,
Lamb through.
Taylor,
I was trying to.
Sorry.
Jay,
You just got to the best part.
Hey, I know. Golly, man, it's too early.
That's how
Wow.
this works.
and special guest this morning, visiting from Portland, Alex Spears.
What up, YouTube?
What's up, YouTube? Like and subscribe. What's up, dudes? Hey, the finals are going on.
Good one.
The finals are going on. They're no good.
I mean, for real. They're actually the last game was actually somewhat enjoyable.
Was it?
Until the end?
Until the second quarter.
So yeah, the Cavs are not good, and we all knew that. And then they played the best collection of talent in the history of the NBA.
But let me tell you what
No.
they should do differently.
No, it doesn't.
Let me tell you about their
Yeah.
schemes.
You know what they should do differently? Have better players.
Yeah, just not be Rodney Hood and J.R. Smith.
And
That's what
Jordan
they should
Clark.
do.
Jordan Clarkson. Did he even play in game 4-3?
Does it matter?
No, I mean they're somehow worse with him on the floor, yet better plus minus. I don't know, dude. This is not enjoyable. This is not ideal for Adam Silver. And then what'll happen is everybody will say, "Look at the ratings. The ratings are high. There's still people are still." It's like nobody wants this.
No, this is not fun.
No,
Nothing about
Everyone's
it's
hate
fun.
watching.
I'm not even hate watching anymore. I just turn it off,
Really?
I watched the first quarter, then I watched Thor Ragnarok, and I had a great time.
which is
It's
on Netflix
now.
Yeah.
Congratulations,
It was-
everyone.
It was great.
What
Watched
is,
it with my dad.
congratulations, everyone.
We loved
So is
it.
Coco. Coco's also on
Co-
Netflix.
yeah.
Watched that
Oh,
the
yeah.
other
So
day.
good.
It's
I
a
cried.
Fantastic
So good.
movie.
Seems
Which
like
part
I'm
did
gonna-
you cry
I
at?
All
watched
of them,
that
from
during
beginning to
game
end,
4.
weeping.
What is Thor Fraggle Rock?
I love
Sounds
that.
awesome.
Yeah.
It's really good.
I love Fraggle Rock, man.
It's great.
Hey, these are all things that are more enjoyable to talk about than the NBA
We,
finals.
we could have a 5-day podcast about what would be
Things
better
that are
than
more
the NBA
enjoyable.
finals.
You know, what I feel bad for the like national NBA writers who have to like meet deadlines and write about these games.
Yeah.
I couldn't bring myself to do it. That'd be so miserable. Or like your boss is making you do a podcast to like we need you to recap game 3 or something.
Yeah. I actually saw.
Yeah, it would be terrible.
Speaking of that and Jordan Clarkson, I actually saw a big piece yesterday that was like Jordan Clarkson playing bad in these finals is proof that the Lakers won the trade. And like those are the type of pieces that are coming out of this
Yeah.
finals
I actually kind of like that one.
because it's not about the finals.
Yeah,
It's about a trade that happened
I
5
love
months
it.
ago.
No, it's true. They actually did. They got a first-round pick in that trade, which is
that is
super
pretty
crazy.
Larry
Anyways,
Nance is a player.
he played basketball, wore a jersey.
Hey, guys, you know what I'd rather talk about than the finals? Anthem Beer, official sponsor of Down to Dunk, and official delicious beer of my mouth. It's great. I love drinking it. Alex, you're in town. You been to the tap room?
No, but I had one.
You didn't go last night?
5 hours ago.
Hey.
And how did it feel?
It was great. I tweeted it out.
Yeah, it it's great. When you're in town, I'll try to take you to the tap room because it's pretty cool.
Did you have Arjuna last night?
I did.
Oh, wow.
Oh, tell us.
What
all
time
about
Wait,
did you
it.
get
did you
in
do
town?
that
Check the timestamp.
Did
Go
you
on
do
Twitter.
that on purpose? Did you look at our doc and see we were talking about Anthem Arjuna?
No, I did order an Anthem on purpose.
Look at our-
because I like Anthem. But
Nice.
I knew it was going to be on the pod, and then I could talk about it.
Where'd you go? Did you go to a
Nice.
local establishment?
I was at McNally's.
You got into the city and then drove straight to McNally's.
Yeah, that sounds kind of messed up. But
Oh, you had an Anthem Arjuna at McNally's.
God, what is
With
wrong?
Dusty. With
That-
Dusty Gilpin.
That's the kind of activity that
Oh, we need to
that we
retweet that
endorse.
one.
We like that. People coming here, drinking Anthem Arjuna. You need to do so at the tap room. They have some live music sometimes. Sometimes they'll have food trucks. You get to see where that delicious beer you drank is made. And if you get one you like there, you can take it home in a growler.
Also, you can
Alex.
buy 6-packs and they're cold. They're actually in a fridge there. Which
At the
I
tap
don't-
room, which you can't
True.
do anywhere
Oh,
else.
that's
Yeah, what's up with that? I
It's-
mean,
it's
I
inside the tap
support it.
room.
I'm not
Yeah,
saying
don't-
like, what's up with that?
Oh,
If-
whoa.
If liquor stores are not allowed to have fridges, breweries shouldn't be.
So, give me 3 or 4 initial observations of Arjuna.
For some reason, I thought it was their IPA, which is not.
It is not. It is not.
What is the name of their IPA?
IPA?
Okay.
Phantom
Yeah,
IPA.
Anthem IPA.
Now I know that for the future. But I got the Arjuna because you guys told me to get it, and it was good. It came in a nice glass. It wasn't a tall glass. It was
Yeah.
a goblet or whatever those are called.
yeah.
I like it.
Yeah,
Gobbledygook.
yeah, that was it.
Did you have some steamed mussels with it?
No, is that what it pairs well with?
Pairs well with steamed mussels.
Oh,
Oh, the fruity notes. I definitely tasted the fruity notes. I see that there.
Chamomile.
Chamomile right before bed.
That's right.
Oh, put me
just
right to
put me
sleep.
right to
Perfect.
sleep. It's a great beer, as all of theirs are. Like I said last week, man, Pills is my go-to now if I'm out and about.
Really?
Yeah, Jay's a Pill's head.
I'm a Pills head. Oh,
Bill's
gosh.
head. That's cool.
That felt worse than okay.
All right. Well, guys, let's talk.
We have a ton of Twitter
We got a
questions.
ton, so let's jump into them.
Are you gonna ruin KD?
I gotta turn that
That
up.
wasn't very loud.
That was not
Hey, can I
very
just say, I want to just destroy somebody that tweeted at me yesterday about Kevin Durant. Is that
Oh,
okay?
do it. Destroy them. Drag them.
They 100% don't listen to me, but somebody said that I said Kevin Durant ruined the NBA, which was just me trying to be funny, and it's gotten way more burn than I thought it would, and it makes me uncomfortable because I hate conflict.
Congrats, dude.
I hate conflict on Twitter because it's like you can't ever actually
It's the worst.
have a real argument. The best. Anyway, so this guy said that I said, yeah, Kevin Durant ruined the NBA, and he said just like when LeBron went to Miami. How is that even?
I don't know. Everybody's bringing that up right now.
How is that even remotely comparable?
It's not. It's not.
All 3 of the finals that the Miami Heat played in, they played in 4, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they won 2,
2 of 4.
lost 2, lost to the Spurs and the Mavs. And the 2 in between, they almost lost the one to the Spurs that Ray Allen, y'all were talking about on a Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
73 win team added the second best player in the world.
Yeah, the comp would be if LeBron joined the Boston Celtics.
Exactly.
After they beat him.
The only thing that's similar is that when
Not even, though.
LeBron went to Miami, we did feel that way. People did say, like, oh, the NBA's done. Like, LeBron did the not 1, not 2, not
Right.
3. We did think that. But then that first season, right off the bat, we saw that there was a flaw. Like, there was something wrong with that team. And so that made it fun again.
Yeah.
When they lost to Dallas. Because we saw that, oh, there's actually hope for the league. And then the next couple of years, it was like, great.
And all those finals against the Spurs were amazing.
They were great.
Every single year
Right.
was amazing. And Eastern
Mhm.
Conference finals were really good every single year. Like there was
'cause they were
competition
playing-
for that.
That was
team.
the
Yeah.
Pacers,
With the
were
Pacers,
pretty good
yeah.
at that point. And
The Celtics
even
were
Boston,
still really good,
Boston
yeah.
was
Yeah.
decent.
It was, the NBA was still okay.
And the best we've gotten
Totally.
here was that Houston series, which was good series, but
But that's like one series, and then the Thunder series from 2016.
I still think if the Thunder would have had a chance to match up with them, I mean, obviously Melo became even more detrimental defensively, but I still think looking at the Thunder potentially for next year, like they match up at least. They could do what, and I think you all have mentioned this as well, is they can look at the way Houston played Oklahoma or Houston played Golden State and say, hey, we can do that without Melo. We can do that if Melo looks like Ryan Anderson, where he plays for 3.5 minutes and gets so embarrassed.
We can do that if Melo sprains his ankle in the first quarter.
Right. Yeah. But I just think Oklahoma City can defend them at least as well. I mean, obviously better than Cleveland can, but
Yeah. No, I think if Paul George comes back, that they'll have a shot to lose in 6 or 7 against that team.
right. Yeah. So then what's your goal? So you talked about that show with Woj and Bobby Marks and Mike Schmitz, is that his name?
Mm-hmm.
So they were on and I can't remember
And
the name.
Cassidy Hubbarth,
Yeah.
2018, bro.
Sorry, I didn't know who she was.
The host.
Okay,
Ass.
got it.
Host.
But it was a great show, actually. I enjoyed it.
Was.
ESPN's ramping up their NBA coverage, and I've really enjoyed that. But anyway, they were talking about one of the things Daryl Morey came on, and they talked about the statement that Daryl Morey made earlier in the season, or maybe before the season, that, you know, like, we're obsessed with what we can do to create a team to beat the Warriors.
Mhm.
And they asked him about that. He said, what doesn't make sense to me is why a team wouldn't be obsessed. So you have two options in this league: is you try to create the best roster you can to compete with the Warriors, in his mind, or you tank. That's really it. Like, what's the point in between? Like, if you're trying to win, you need to try to be obsessed with beating the Warriors.
Yeah.
I think if you're a young team, and I think this is probably what Phoenix is thinking, is they're prepping for the post Warriors world. And that's why they're willing to take someone like DeAndre Ayton, who, if you look at this playoffs, doesn't really make sense. Do I have a bubble in my throat?
I don't know. Do you?
No, I got it out.
Frog in there.
But if you look at this playoffs, like, DeAndre Ayton doesn't, it's like, why would you take him? Like, big men are not a big part of this league. But once you get past the Warriors, past the Rockets, which is going to happen at some point,
Maybe
in the next
5
4
years.
or 5 years, but that's probably when Phoenix is going to be good. That's when all those guys will be in their prime. That's like my favorite conversation right now, is like trying to figure out what the league is going to look like in 5 years, because I do think it's going to look different, but I didn't feel that way like even like a couple months ago, because it just seemed like everything was going to be shooting, small ball, switching, and now I'm less convinced of it.
Yeah. And go ahead. Sorry, Taylor.
I was gonna say, like, can you really prepare and start like expecting what the league is gonna be in 3 years? Because this Warriors thing happened by chance. You know what I mean? Like, the league changed because of the Warriors, and the Warriors happened but from being lucky, from drafting Draymond and Draymond being the player he is, Steph Curry being healthy and being like incredible and shooting from wherever he wants, and Klay Thompson, and all three of those happening to be on the same team. Like, that was luck, and that's what changed the league. I don't know if you can, like...
It is, but there's still an iteration of like previous teams. I feel like starting with the 7
Spurs.
seconds or less Suns,
Yeah.
and then going to even the Miami Heat, LeBron, the way they ran, and then moving on to the Spurs, and then now to the Warriors.
They're just the best version of it.
But
Yeah,
you
it's
can't.
like-
All you're doing is following the best team, and like, you don't know what the best team is going to be in 4 years, right?
Right.
It's the best team determines what the league.
But I think
does.
that's what general managers. I think that's if you're going to look back and be critical on Sam Presti, I think the thing that I would be the most critical about is he was reactionary in that time to the dominant team of that era, which was the Lakers.
Yeah,
right.
right.
And so the Kendrick Perkins trade is totally made, which I'm not this believer of, like, I don't think Jeff Green was the difference maker in the midst of all this. But if you can have the foresight to say this is where the league is leading, I think there's a chance that you do. And the Harden, I think there are multiple layers to the Harden trade. I'm not trying to bring that up. It's like, why don't we throw some more salt on all of the wounds that we have as Thunder fans? But I think looking forward is really the role of GMs, especially in today's NBA, where it's like, what are the Suns going to do in the next 2 years to compete with the Warriors? Nothing.
Mm-hmm.
That's
There's-
why we have Rob
nothing they
Hennigan.
can do.
Yeah, that's right.
What's his title?
Sam
Direct-
Presti's friend that we pay.
Director
something
of
so.
Vision or something?
Director of Insight and Foresight.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the thing about like trying to see that NBA coming, you couldn't, because not even the Warriors saw that coming. The only reason Draymond Green ever even started was because David Lee got hurt in training camp, and then they just brought him in. Like, no one saw this. I don't think that you could look and see. It wasn't just the Lakers. Memphis played huge.
Yes.
San Antonio played huge.
Yep.
Portland at the time, they played two bigs, LaMarcus Aldridge and Robin
Arvydas
Lopez.
Sabonis, yeah.
And I mean, you couldn't see that. I just don't think you could see that coming.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're right, but I think for maybe just kind of speaking more to what Alex is saying, I think that's what you have to do for 80% of the league.
Here's what you have to do. You have to take the best players, because the best
You're
players
talking
shape the
draft-wise?
league.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
If you think DeAndre Ayton is the best player, just you stack up all the talent and you say he has the most talent and the most potential of any player in this draft, you have to take him. And the same with the second, third, fourth. Like, you just take who, not necessarily who you think is the best fit to beat the Warriors. You take who's the best talent. And that's why DeAndre Ayton's going number one.
What?
Did you hear him after his Phoenix workout?
Yeah.
He just said, yeah, I'm going to be the first pick.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks,
Yeah,
man.
we all know.
Yeah, we know.
But is that because you think he's the best talent, or because
He
you
has the
think
high-
the Suns believe he's the best talent?
He has the highest ceiling of any of the players. in
How
the
how
draft.
is Luka Doncic not the highest ceiling of any of
Yeah,
the players
because
in the
of
draft?
because of athleticism. It's
Dude,
it's easy.
that's not an easy answer.
I mean,
he's six.
it's
How tall is he? 6'7"? And he's played in how many professional games now? 70 something. And he's
I
playing
love him.
against all way better talent. He doesn't have games where he's like, oh, is he even trying this game? Is he even good? I don't know. I don't get that.
I don't buy
get
the
that.
athleticism thing either, because that's been pegged on guys like James Harden, on Steph Curry. Those guys were called unathletic, like when they were in the draft, and that was their big flaw.
Yeah,
And I just don't believe it with Luka
at all. I see. How does he not have the highest ceiling?
You can't be the EuroLeague MVP, take your team to a EuroLeague title, playing against NBA level like men.
Yeah,
having
and not
17.
be
I like
shooting
him.
Great.
I like him a
percentages.
lot. I'm not saying that Luka's not good. I'm saying that DeAndre Ayton, at
if
the
we're
end of the
comparing
day,
ceilings, man,
if you're trying-
Ayton's is
Yeah, but
He played 30 something, maybe 40 games.
so did every other
No,
player.
No, Luka Doncic did not.
Games-
he played in the
total number of
professional
games
world.
don't make you.
No,
the
but you
best
get
player.
a better.
I would
idea
take Luka
and you-
Doncic number 1. Okay,
Okay.
Would you really?
I
You
would.
would?
thank you.
For the Suns.
I would take him.
That's all
yes,
we're
he's
saying,
my favorite
man.
player. But
That's
I'm
all
just
we want.
saying that.
Oh, you
Good God.
Oh, my Taylor.
You would have made it had you not made those sounds. You almost did a good argument.
You saw it in his eye. He was like, I could stop and not get muted. Or
Keep pushing.
I'm just saying that the ceiling of a DeAndre Ayton is the most dominant center in the NBA and a guy that teams really have to prepare for. Like, that's his ceiling. Do I think he'll get there? I don't know, but he could.
So that goes back to the whole meat of this conversation, right?
Yeah.
No meat of it.
He could be he could be the best big guy in the NBA.
Yes.
Like,
so
he really could.
ceiling is Doncic is really good, like all-star. Ayton's ceiling is potentially the best big in the league.
see, I disagree. He's not a better prospect than Anthony Davis. He's not a better prospect than Karl Anthony
not
Towns.
Davis. I think he's as good of a
He's
prospect
not a-
as Cat was.
No, he's not. Towns was supposed to be an amazing defender coming out of college.
that's so crazy,
He was
isn't
an obvious number one, and he had like a definable elite skill. Like, what is DeAndre Ayton's elite skill? It's
Being
that he
big.
looks huge.
Yeah, he does.
He will be an elite offensive center.
Yeah, he can. He can shoot. He can.
He's a worse prospect than Joel Embiid. Like, he is not.
Yeah,
He's-
I would say that talent-wise, but Joel Embiid was so injured. I mean, that's the only reason he fell to 7 or whatever
Yeah.
it was.
Yeah, but that happened like a month before the draft.
No, because he missed the entire NCAA tournament. Like, people knew that he had.
Yeah, but he was going to be the number one pick.
yeah, but
if
people knew he had injury problems. Is what I'm saying.
Right.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
I'm
it's
saying his offensive game is light years beyond what Ayton's is.
I don't.
Yeah. I mean, I'd agree with that.
I don't
He just
know.
had
In
more-
college, I wouldn't say that they're light years
Yeah.
apart. I mean, now they are, obviously.
Did you see Embiid? Side note: did you see him playing with those guys? Did you see him playing with those guys on some park in Philadelphia or something like that? It's just a reminder how
Ayton's good.
gigantic he is.
People that are, I don't know. I think people are quick to tear Ayton down, but I mean, he could not make the impact that people think. But just the ceiling, his potential ceiling is massive.
Is it everybody's
Hello?
hesitation with big guys? Is that the problem?
Yes.
Hello?
I
Which
think
is
so.
the craziest thing about this draft because it's like 5 big guys in the first 7 picks.
Yeah. The crazy thing is not
Just-
Ayton versus Doncic. Like, that's a debate to be had. The debate that's being had now among NBA front
Doncic and
offices
Bagley.
is Doncic versus Marvin Bagley, and that's where I'm like, all right,
That's
guys.
insane. That is insane. To
He's
me.
falling. He's falling to 4 in almost every smart mock draft.
I feel like this is just people. People always get too cute, man. Don't get too cute with
Well,
this.
and the
You love Doncic all year when he's playing against men who have been playing for 10 years and he's killing them. And now that it's the end of the year and these college players haven't played in months, now you look back at tape and you're finding all the best parts of them and comparing them to someone who's still playing. Doncic is still playing basketball right now, correct? I think
No.
he's still playing games.
like maybe pick up in a gym or something.
Well, and I don't know if this will work in his favor or not, but he's not going to do workouts.
Yeah, he's not making it. He's trying to dictate really not going to the Kings. Like, he doesn't want to go there.
He would love to not be a king.
And Dragic, from some of the rumors, is Dragic is kind of saying, "Hey, don't," because they play. I mean, they play on the same international team, all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's one of the words I had heard, and I can't remember who said this, is that he's telling them like what teams, especially when the Suns, because Dragic's exit was so bad at the Suns. He's like, don't do it, like whatever you can avoid the Suns.
Yeah.
basically. So I'm sure he's also telling him the Kings have been a garbage pile for a decade, so don't go there either. You know, like
Mhm.
in Memphis. I mean, if he lands in Memphis, I mean, I think obviously you said, and we all probably would agree that being in Dallas would be his best slide.
It'd
So
be a
where's
great-
Dallas 5?
Mhm. I don't know if he'll slide that far. I don't think he will.
Yeah.
On draft night.
I bet he's. The prophecy, man.
I know. I
He's
think
he's still going.
Sacramento's got to take him.
Yeah, they have to take him.
Dummies.
Hey guys, I got our first Twitter question.
We were like, don't do anything but Twitter questions. All right, how about a 20-minute debate on?
It comes from
draft.
at Jay Stiegelmeyer, who wants to know how many years before I can start watching the NBA Finals again.
3,
5?
2.
It'll be next year because LeBron's going to leave, which will make it more interesting just because of that. It means that the Cavs won't be there.
Best bet where he lands.
I think he's going to LA.
Oh my god, I want to throw my computer.
Boom. That leads into second Twitter question from at Davis Robbie. He wants each of us to make predictions about where LeBron and Paul George play next season.
Jay, you start, baby.
You don't want to hear what I
Give us what.
Am
Give
I-
them what they want.
No, I'm not.
Come on, you give
I'm
it to
gonna
us
tell you
in
right now that
text
they're
the
all
time.
playing in Oklahoma City. No, that's not happening. So looking at the roster construction, like there's no way the Thunder, unless LeBron's like, I'll take the taxpayer mid-level exception. No, and he doesn't want to play in Oklahoma City. Like, it depends. More likely LeBron, in my mind, this is why LA doesn't make sense to me, is even if you pair him with Paul George, LeBron and Paul George are going to get run out of the gym.
What team can he go to that's going to beat the Warriors?
I mean, I think the Rockets or the Thunder would be the only two, or Philly.
I don't think Philly with LeBron is beating the Warriors.
Paul George makes more sense. I don't know, Boston.
I just don't think
Exactly.
you can,
Yeah, it's Boston.
Yeah,
I don't think you can underrate how long this run has been for the Warriors either. And if LeBron had any talent, that's why I wouldn't ride off Philly and say Philly couldn't do it. If a healthy Philly team, like I think that they could compete with the Warriors.
I don't like the fit of LeBron and Philly as much.
The fit's not great, but the talent level at that point, the way that that team could defend, and that's one of the biggest problems with this Cavs team is they just can't defend.
No.
And I'm with you. Like, just getting more talent around LeBron right now might be enough, because say the Cavs, this crappy Cavs team, they almost won game 1. If they won game 1 and believed in themselves a little more, they probably win the other night too and pull that off too, with Steph and Clay playing like that and with the start they had offensively. I just think it's like they're two really all-star talent players away.
The only reason
That's all.
The only reason I probably would disagree with you a little bit on that is because this Warriors team, and we've all talked about this, like the worst part about them is they just play whenever they want to. And they know they have the ability to be better than anybody that plays whenever they just try.
Yeah, I think
so if they lose game 1, they're going to win 2, 3, 4.
I don't think anybody had a chance this year. I just think that as the years go on,
The Rockets,
teams will have better chances.
if Chris Paul doesn't
win.
get hurt, they really could have won that series. Could have, maybe not.
could.
I
Would
don't know.
have, but they could have.
I don't know. Maybe.
And then that final series with Rockets Cavs would have been so much better than this.
I don't know. Rockets probably still smash the Cavs.
I don't know.
New look finals.
Cavs are so bad.
They're not. So I don't know. I just wonder what the mentality is for a James Harden, Chris Paul team going up against LeBron James. He's easily the best player.
Oh, for sure.
And I mean, LeBron plays in the second half.
Yeah.
And if especially if Chris Paul isn't able to play, because there's a chance that he's not able to play in the finals if that team got through. Like somehow they win game 7 and then they play James Harden versus LeBron James. I would bet LeBron James.
Yeah. I mean, that makes sense.
They could win that series.
This is, I mean, by far the worst Cavs roster they've had since he came back.
Yeah. Also, like Kevin Love is he just invisible? Like I
Feels
don't
like it.
I don't know why. Like no one ever talks about him like he's
Man,
any good.
The Warriors just, I mean, if you have any deficiencies on offense, they just destroy you defensively. They're so disciplined defensively that they, like Kyle Korver was incredible all playoffs, and the Warriors have made him a total non-factor.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Does it make you think less of the Celtics now that they got beat by that Cavs team?
no, I probably not. Just because only
Just think
Jason.
less of their run that they made this year. Not less of them moving forward, but less of what their run was.
No, because I think that Philly series is what cemented to me their run. Like
Yeah.
that was an impressive.
It was incredible.
So I don't know.
All right, let's move on to our next.
Hold on, nobody else answered the question.
They made a lot of lucky shots.
So L.A.
LA.
Alex thinks L.A. both of them.
Yes, both.
Yeah, Orlando for me.
I kind of, if I'm gonna make like the most honest, I think they both are in Cleveland.
Okay.
Paul George stays. LeBron goes to Orlando.
Just to be
Hey,
around
put me down
Disney
for the
World.
Magic.
Them's good odds on the Magic.
Andrew, what do you got?
Big payout.
Man, it's too bad Orlando doesn't have cap space. Yeah, LeBron calls, "Hey, I want to come." Oh, you don't have
Sorry.
cap space?
Ah,
Sorry.
Dang it.
We're paying Bismack.
They don't have cap space?
The Magic?
Yeah.
No way, man. I think LeBron goes to Philadelphia, and Paul George stays in Oklahoma City for the short term.
Okay, now let's move on to our next Twitter
A
question.
lot of pressure on Brett. Brown.
Wait. Luke, you didn't
It
answer.
comes from
Luke, hold on, man. What do you
Katie
think?
Lou Who. I think they'll both retire. She wants to know who takes over in the Collison role of culture guy now that Collison is retired.
see.
I think Steve is that guy.
Mm.
Oh, so the next white guy up.
Okay.
All right, let's move on to our next Twitter question. It comes from @real_Feezy.
It can't be a guy that's hadn't been in the organization for a long time.
I just think if anybody embodies it the same way that Collison did, it's Steven Adams.
Wow.
Or
Because he
Dakari.
wants what's best for the team and plays that way every night.
Real
think-
Feezy wants to know what's up
think
with
anybody
the
else does.
KD Perk beef. You never see Perk do that with Russ or Harden.
Why do people think that's real? It's obvious. They're obviously joking with each other.
Who Kevin Durant?
Really?
You think that that's real? Like that's something I would do to my friend.
I don't know what
Give him
happened.
double birds.
Double birds.
Yeah.
I don't know though. I think it might be a thing of like because Perk was picking on Steph of KD sticking up for his teammates. You know, Perk's just yelling at them all the whole game.
But they have such long. I just feel like it was a total joke. Like they're just friends. And because did you hear
yeah.
KD? You saw KD mouth like what he mouthed after Perk flipped him off. I can't repeat it, but
What'd he say?
I bet it's full of curse words.
it is. But it looked like he was doing it in like a funny way to me. I don't know.
Are you mean to your friends usually?
Yes.
I think anybody, yeah. I think anybody that's played competitively like understands. Like, there's just a difference in the way people function in a competitive game, and especially the finals. Like, Perkins may be best friends with Kevin Durant and would still literally flip him off, cuss him out. Like, that's not abnormal. Like, you know how many times I had to apologize after a game for something I said during a game?
Yes.
A lot. You played
I do
with me a
know.
lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bad. You're bad.
I'm a bad boy. But it is like it's the dude, the level of intensity, and obviously the Cavs, like especially after that game, was it game one whenever Steph and Clay and LeBron had their little spat, and then because that's the one that turned into Tristan Thompson. Like the emotions are elevated anytime you play basketball, but especially on this level, and especially when you feel like you have such little chance to do anything. So fight people. It's kind of the best way. It's like the bad news bears. You're not any good, fight them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Why else is Kendrick Perkins really in the NBA at all?
Yeah.
Or on that team?
They just need to suit him up, though, to be like a real enforcer.
yeah. Like, why is he on that team?
He's wise.
Oh, he's so wise.
He's so wise.
He's got
Clearly, he's
He-
wise.
he's got Never mind.
Luke doesn't even know what he's
No, I
gonna
forgot
say.
the word I was gonna say. Intangibles, he's got them.
There it is.
Microwaves.
Next Twitter question from @ShannonZ Ward. He wants to know what second round prospects that could be on the Thunder range intrigue you.
Does anybody have any? Why is everybody looking at me?
You know why.
This is what you talk about.
Anybody?
The only one I know that I think would be kind of okay is that
Yeah.
point guard from West Virginia.
Yeah.
Ah, yeah. Mr. West Virginia is what they call him.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Javon Carter.
Yeah.
I like him a lot.
I watched him play against Trae Young, and he was incredible.
He's a man.
Yeah, I mean, for real. I think he's 33.
He's 22.
Okay.
I really do like him. I don't know if he'll be available where the Thunder are picking at 53 and 57. You know, if I'm going to be real, don't worry about these picks, Thunder fans.
Sell him.
You could sell them. You could do whatever.
Manu Ginobili went in the second round.
Isaiah Thomas. Don't worry about these picks, guys.
I'll tell you.
It'd be great if they could. I mean, if they could get Javon Carter and they could, I don't know who else. I mean, take a shot at Devontae Graham too. Like, just see. Like, can you get a backup point guard at the end of this draft? Maybe. Like, just try both of those. But I wouldn't. I don't know. Don't worry about these picks.
Where are they picking?
53 and 57.
Woo! Ooh, those are good picks, though. Those are good picks right there.
Also-
Luka Doncic might fall away down to 53.
Justin Jackson from Maryland. I've also liked him. I don't know what his injury history is, but there's just all the flawed players are here, and there's not many draft and stash players that I've seen. So I would prefer that kind of guy, a guy that could be a little bit better, but
We're just looking
down
at
the road.
does NBADraft.net just like take everybody else's mock drafts from in there and then just throw players.
We can talk about that later.
I just am looking at it and I'm like, I don't know. And number one, like second round is just so bad.
Yeah, we can talk about it later. There's actually some really good players at the beginning of the second round.
They also have Luka Doncic going 5th right now to the Mavs.
That would be a great fit for Luka.
So they have Oklahoma City taking Raleigh Alkins, shooting guard from Arizona.
Raleigh spree.
And then
Sorry,
another.
Luke,
So
was
they
that your
have
joke?
the Thunder taking 2 Arizona players.
Yeah, 2 of the guys that made DeAndre Ayton look horrible on defense.
Yeah,
they have the Thunder
that
taking.
makes sense.
The Thunder aren't taking those guys.
Mhm. Likely story.
All right.
Okay, guys.
Alonzo Trier.
I'm sure you watched a lot of Arizona this year.
I was a big NCAA fan.
Guys, it's time for that classic down to dunk thing that we do.
Oh my gosh.
It's the question about Mitch McGarry. Comes from @Red Sox Rebirth, who wants to know how good could Mitch McGarry have been if he could have laid off the tweeds.
This is Mitch McGarry of the Oklahoma City Thunder, and you're listening to the Down to Dunk podcast.
How could he have been?
I think he could have been really good, actually. His rookie season, he showed a ton of flashes. He's a good offensive player. I'll tell you this: they wouldn't have taken Domantas Sabonis had Mitch McGarry have been good. Like Sabonis was like their second chance at a guy like that. Like
And had he laid off the tweeds?
if he would have laid off the tweeds, but he was talented. He could pass it. He could shoot. He could finish around the basket. He was a great rebounder. He could have been really good for the Thunder. And then if they still made that trade, they probably don't take Domas and they take somebody else. And then you just have more talent. But he laid on the tweeds.
He's a knucklehead.
He really is.
He was at. Wasn't there a story of
And he
him?
loves snakes.
I love snakes.
Love snakes, and there was a story of him pulling up to a girl at a stoplight, and he thought she was cute, so he said, "Roll your window down," and asked
Who
for
was
her
this?
number. Who told us that story?
I don't remember, but
Was it me who told us that story?
I'm pretty sure you did, but I'm trying to remember who it was.
Did I make that up?
Probably.
Hey, come check out my snakes. All right, and that was the question about Mitch McGarry. Okay, next Twitter question comes from @Brittany Schull. She wants to know, if you are Brian Colangelo, do you divorce your wife?
It sounds like he's going to complete this whole throwing his wife under the bus thing by divorcing her.
So, Luke, these are the things that you talk about.
I don't think that you do, unless he wasn't aware that she was doing this stuff, and he had to have known.
Can I read you something?
Yes.
So these tweets were from last night. Apparently, Woj was on SportsCenter. Did you see these?
Mm-mm.
So this guy kind of transcribed it. So this is from Woj. He said, there's very few people inside or outside the Sixers organization that don't believe, at the very least, Colangelo was aware of the burners. And then there are two more things I thought these were very interesting. Second one, Brett Brown was never Brian or Jerry Colangelo's coach. Their plan was for Mike D'Antoni to become head coach. When he got the Rockets job, always a thought in the Colangelo's mind was that they'd put their own coach in, and their choice was Jay Wright. And Woj also said, what I heard around the league today was that a lot of good GMs and good jobs are calling their agents, seeing if there's a way out of their contracts. Everybody wants the Sixers job.
Ooh.
I think those are some interesting tidbits.
They are interesting. Get that dang Colangelo family out of basketball. How about that?
They gone.
They
Do you
gone.
think he knew?
Is Jerry gone?
No, he's still.
Jerry's gonna sabotage now. He's so mad.
If he didn't know about the accounts, he knew that his wife knew about the things that she knew about.
He knew about
Yeah.
the accounts though, because the thing going back to when the Sixers told him and they shut off 2 accounts, they told him about the 2 accounts and then all 5 accounts.
I'm
were
sure he
gone to
knew.
Brown.
I'm sure he knew. I'm sure he called his wife and was like, "Hey,
Here's
Listen,
here's the more
here's some
important
info.
thing. Here's the more important thing. Do you think he had the conversation with his wife saying, "Hey, I'm about to go and completely throw you under the bus. It's the only way for me to maybe even keep my
And
job."
she may have said, throw me under the bus."
If she did, they should stay together. But if she didn't know, and he was just, when there was like, "It's my wife," then I
Wow,
think
that
they
was-
should
My
have-
wife.
It's so BS that right after it came out that he came out with a thing that was like, somebody's out to get me.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
looking back now.
Yeah.
Come on.
He's
Yeah.
kind of a trash man, trash
Yeah,
person.
It's
Yeah.
it's not a good
He got a new
situation.
job as a trash man.
He's a
That's the
literal
only
trash
job he
man.
could get.
Yeah. Should he?
Mm.
Fight for your
No, I
marriage,
believe
Brian.
I believe
Come
in
on.
love. I believe in love. Don't do it.
Here's my take.
You got something worth fighting for.
She should divorce him, obviously. He's not a very good person. Probably a terrible husband. Is she
No.
in a Stockholm syndrome situation? I think so. I think she's in love with her abuser. I don't know.
Oh my god.
It could be emotional abuse. I'm just saying he seems like a trash person, and she was really sticking up.
The next Twitter question is from.
Do you have one that of the main Twitter questions you really like? Want me to go to
Just
do?
start rapid fire.
Do you want me to do fun ones?
No,
Fun ones or the real ones?
go through the real ones.
Okay.
We have plenty of.
next
We
one
have 20,
from
25 minutes of time to fill right now.
We're running out of time. Okay, our next Twitter question comes from @Pepsi United. He says CP3 made it clear that he won't take any pay cut, but who will give a 33-year-old a 5-year max? That's paying a 38-year-old over $40 million for 1 year.
Houston will.
Houston will pay him what
I think
he asked because
I
they
don't know.
That's dumb.
he opted in to his contract so that they could trade for him. And you don't think that there was a conversation before that happened? Like, hey, listen, if I opt in, I'm losing $10 million this year. So
You have to make
please
that up for me.
max me out next year and I will stay.
Well, and the other thing for the Rockets is they feel like they're close enough that they're going to do whatever just
Yeah.
to keep this roster together.
And just
They're going
because
to pay so much money this
and just
offseason.
because somebody might be bad in 3 years, it doesn't mean you shouldn't sign them now. Like if that happened,
Russell Westbrook shouldn't have got
like
his extension.
there's so many players that should have never signed any contracts. It's just strange logic
Yeah.
that you should never because because when he's 38 he'll be paid this. Like that doesn't mean that he's not going to be awesome for the next 3. He could be awesome at 38. We don't know.
He won't be. But I know for a fact.
Could
But
be no.
I
no
think
one
that-
thought LeBron would be this good this
yeah,
year.
yeah. I think obviously what Pepsi United is saying here is like a real, like we all admit that that's the Rockets are in a weird, hard place because they are like that. Chris Paul is not ideal to have. I mean, he's injury prone as a 33-year-old. Like, what does it look like for him to be 38? Like
I get it.
out there in a walker.
But you do not want
You also
him
have
at
to-
34 and 35. Like he's probably still going to be
Yeah,
really awesome.
and that's the point, right? To have him for the next 2 years, where he's still going to be an incredible part of your play, and he may be good for 4 out of the 5. Who knows? But to have him as part of the next 2 or 3 years is worth the 2 years you're going to take a hit. But the hard thing, and we've talked about this before, we'll talk about it a lot, is Capella's a free agent, and I
Yeah.
guarantee the Mavericks are going to max him, like or do close to.
If they can get Luka, Then they'll max
Yep.
Capella.
So
Yeah.
anyway, but the Rockets have a ton of roster questions. So anyway, but the Rockets have a ton of roster questions
Or
coming
Boogie.
up. Ariza and Bob Mute,
Oh.
like a lot of guys that were important on this team.
A good reminder that Chris Paul has missed more than 20 games the last 2 seasons.
Yeah.
Do you think
correct.
Houston won't do it, or do you know they will? It just is gonna.
I think they
hamstring him.
should play hardball with him. I mean, what's he going to do? Go take a 5-year max from like Orlando? Like,
Right?
Well, they
What's
don't
he
have
gonna do?
valid.
They don't have cap space.
Yeah.
like I would be
Brooklyn.
Yeah, is he going to go to Brooklyn? Like, fine, go to Brooklyn.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, so what would you do? Are you offering the 5 years
offer a
or are you going
3-year
to 3-year
max.
max? Yeah, that's what I was going to. Yeah, I-
Smart.
probably more. I mean,
But if you're the Rockets, you really want him to. I mean, if I'm Chris Paul, like I'm just going to go somewhere else. Like, what if Philly can't get the players that they want, and Chris Paul is still sitting out there saying, "Give me the 5-year," and Philly says, "Hey, we'll do it." Like, you really want to be the Rockets, and you miss out on being an elite team for the next 3 years because you don't want to pay him in 5 years.
Or if one of the teams that gets LeBron or Paul George, whatever team
Yeah,
that
Chris
is,
Paul
and then
goes
they
to the
want to max
Lakers
out
with
Chris Paul.
Goes to the Lakers. I mean,
Right.
there will be
Chris
teams.
Paul finally makes it to the Lakers.
Right.
His destiny.
After all these years.
yeah, I think that there's. I mean, you've got to at least try that.
I think you have to
Unless
try.
You think you're going to offend him?
Oh, I think you'll piss him right off if you try to do that.
I don't know. He wants to be in Houston. Everything points to that.
He also said he's
chose
not
Houston.
going to make any concessions.
Yeah,
But he's bought so much Western wear.
which is also what LeBron
mean,
said too.
It's a
right?
big deal.
Those boots, they're not going to fly in California.
That's true.
Philly, you can't wear that hat there.
Oh, shot dead.
That's their pitch to him. Look, you have too much Western clothes. You have to take a 3-year deal.
Seriously.
I mean, that would be ideal for them. But
What,
if you're
that pitch?
If you're Chris Paul, like, you don't want to be out on the market again in 3 years because you're not going to get that same deal.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
you want to push for, and he's one of the heads of the players, and
He knows.
he's going to try to get as much as he can. Like, he's not an idiot. I think that he will try to push for as much as he can, and he should. He should.
Luke, ask that question by at Ross B.
At Ross B. Let me find it. Okay. Twitter question from at Ross B. He wants to know, let's say Paul George decides to join LeBron, but in Cleveland. What might a sign and trade between Cleveland and OKC look like? Would Cleveland want to give up Kevin Love? Would the Thunder accept anything less?
So here's, I mean, you probably have something a little more processed to this, but maybe for Alex, I'll ask you this question, and Taylor and Luke. What's the minimum you would take
$1
back? Now, Oklahoma City doesn't have a ton of leverage in this, right?
Right.
They wouldn't if Paul George said, "Hey,
I'm going to Cleveland. Sign and trade me.
He may say, "I'm going to LA or Cleveland. You choose."
Cleveland.
Yeah. And I think that you do ask for Kevin Love. If you don't take back Kevin Love, I think that you say George Hill and
Whoa.
somebody else
8th pick.
and the 8th pick.
Yep.
Can you get Kevin Love and something else?
I think Kevin Love in the 8th pick would probably be.
That would be wonderful,
That'd be
wouldn't it?
amazing.
I think Cleveland would do it.
Maybe. But if you have LeBron staying and
Yeah.
you're going to give away your second best player and the potential maybe future second best player on your team for Paul George, who just had surgery.
I guess it's just
Who
like how
has
valuable is
forearm
Paul
tightness.
George to them.
No, the question is how valuable is LeBron James to them? Like, Paul George makes so much more sense.
I get it, but I'm just saying, like, what leverage does Oklahoma City have to say you have to give us both?
Paul George.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have anything.
So
You don't. I mean, if I would be so mad if it's like George Hill and the 7th pick.
well, it wouldn't even be that, Jay. It'd be the 8th pick.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. I'd be happy if it no. And I mean, I think 8th pick, you've seen Trae Young land there. The one that makes the most sense to me if they move Paul George, though, is the kid from Missouri.
Michael Porter Jr.
Seems like
Mr.
he's gonna
Missouri.
it seems like he's going to be gone before then.
Maybe.
But
Who knows?
you don't know.
Only time will tell.
On the tomato.
Okay,
Are we done with that question?
Yeah.
I don't know. Anything? I mean, any other thoughts on a sign and trade with Paul George to the Cavs?
Yeah, I mean, I think that. I mean, how does Kevin Love fit in OKC? Then would be the question.
Great.
Yeah, I think so. Actually,
Love and Adams. Westbrook, Adams, pick and roll, kicking out to a wide open Kevin Love. You don't like that? You don't like that?
I think there's. I think. Will you mute both of them?
Yeah, I will.
3 and 4.
Wait, which one's Alex?
Alex is 5.
Okay,
Nope.
No,
Didn't
he's
say the
not.
magic word.
I knew it. I knew it. Okay. Yeah, I mean, it would be, and Kevin Love and Westbrook have talked for a long time
The
about wanting to
roomies.
play together.
They were roomies.
So, that would be a great recovery for OKC.
yeah, they would be
if
fun for the next 4 years and never compete again for a championship. Not that they did the last 2 years, but
yeah,
you know, with the Paul George, you at least had this like faint hope. It's like if everything goes right and 3 things go wrong for the Warriors, you know. But
yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens this summer, and let's see. We
I
don't know.
still think
What,
Paul George is staying in Oklahoma City. I'll just say it again.
we don't know what Sam could do this offseason either.
All right, our next Twitter question.
Hey, will you talk about real quick? What did Shams?
Yeah, let me pull up those quotes from Shams.
So what was that on a podcast?
It was on the Chris Mannix show.
The Chris Mannix show. So they had. So I'll fill the space here, but
The Chris Mannix Show.
So he talked about Russell Westbrook and Paul George's relationship. He said Paul George has become really close with Russell Westbrook. He also said things like they do things that friends do.
bang bang.
Bang bang. And it could go a long way.
Bang, bang.
You guys yelling is not going to get you anything. Okay. So you guys stop that.
You want us to yell or you want our mics on? You want us to yell or you want our mics on?
I want you to shut up.
Shut up.
And that their relationship could go a long way for Oklahoma City as it goes into July 1st.
Yeah, same things Woj said on that.
But he never said anything about their friendship.
Yeah.
Which I mean, everyone wants to talk about a potential conversation that LeBron and Paul George could have. And that is like, those are the headlines, right? The headline is never Russell Westbrook and Paul George have gotten really close and he has a chance to stay in OKC. You know?
Yeah. What did the Thunder, hypothetical, not going to happen? What do the Thunder have to do to be able to create space for LeBron James if you were going to say, I'm coming to play with Russ and Paul George?
They don't.
Steven Adams, gone.
I don't even know if you could actually make it happen.
You'd have to do maybe a sign and trade for a year.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like, really, is it possible?
Sure. Kind of like the Rockets, though, too. Right?
The Rockets have
A little more flexibility.
Yeah, because they have all those free agents.
Yeah, you don't have half your roster.
Yeah, the Thunder. I mean, Melo would have to be gone.
Which there's no way to. I mean, unless he opts.
If Melo opts out, let's say Melo opts out, you trade Steven Adams for nothing.
And
there's just.
I hate them so
yeah,
much.
you're not getting back on.
We have next Twitter question. All right, our next Twitter question comes from @NotKD_great_guy. Wants to know if there was a real life purge, whose house we staying at. I think about the purge all the time. We're 3 years from it being a reality. I'm going down to my place at Lake Eufaula.
Oh, good idea.
Especially now that we know.
Secluded.
Easy to fortify. Trees, forest, a lot of places to hide, you know?
Yeah.
But the only question is, do you trust your friends?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Is the purge a thing
Not
where
you.
the people are infected or they just want
No,
to kill?
the purchase thing is so for 1 day a year, all crime is legal.
Oh, well, that'd be great.
I know.
You just go to Eufaula for
I
a
know.
day.
Yeah.
It'd be a nice little trip.
I know.
You can also, like, worst case scenario, just get on a boat.
Let's get on a boat. Stay out there. However,
You can. Someone's just gonna mow you down with a
Or
machine
sniper
gun.
rifle. Good call. Yeah.
but all crime is legal, and the best thing about the purge is I think about how Donald Trump would introduce the purge if he was doing it. He's like, a lot of people are saying we need a day when we get all this anger out. There's a lot of anger out there, and we need one day to get it all out. I'd be like, okay, I think he's right.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
I
You
think
guys?
about
How much prep time do you get
I mean, it's announced like this weekend is the purge.
this week? Okay, so this week,
Like it's like a day.
But
Like,
they
this
know it's
day is
coming.
the
Saturday.
purge.
but you get a few days advance notice.
You
Oh,
get
you
so
get, like,
once it's
6
set, you
months
get the
notice.
year.
Oh,
You get-
really?
Yeah, and it's that day every year.
It's like every July 15th is
Yeah.
the purge.
So the
Oh,
first
yeah.
purge, you
Yeah,
have the best chance of survival, I think, because no one. But then when these killers have a whole year to prepare, I think that's when
Yeah,
you're
but
like,
you also have a year to build like a
Yeah.
shelter for your family and lock it from the inside.
oh, that's true.
safe room.
But then what
They
if you're?
should do some movies on
Oh
this.
my god, great
Oh,
idea.
that's a good idea.
I love the purge, and I think about it all the time. Okay, let's move on to our
What's
next.
wrong with you?
Hey man,
Yeah, I'm not going to Luke's house in
Yeah.
Eufaula anymore.
I think
Never.
about the purge all the time.
it's a trick. Next Twitter question comes from @Ben_Burke10, who wants to know which NBA player has the best smile. His vote is Vince Carter or Kevin Love. Hey, this is a nice one.
Hey, don't shortchange Corey Brewer.
He's
I
got a great
I do
smile.
like Corey Brewer smile.
Yeah.
Andrew Wiggins, great smile,
yes.
He's got a big smile.
big old smile.
Big old smile. I don't know anybody else's smiles.
Russell Westbrook has an underrated smile. I'll say that.
It's good.
It's a good smile.
Homer,
It's a great smile. We just don't see it that often.
Homer Simpson
No,
has a good smile.
because when you see it, you know you earned it.
That's right.
You know.
That's exactly right.
All right, guys. Next Twitter question comes from @RWarrenBeck, who wants to know our favorite non-alcoholic beverage or food item to cool yourself during summer. We've limited ourselves so much by saying non-alcoholic.
Luke has no answer.
For
Looks
my,
like I don't ever drink it.
I mean, because my answer is gonna be boring. Like, ooh, a tall glass of ice water.
with a little splash of beer.
Just a spritz of beer.
Snow cones, man. I love snow cones.
Ooh.
I like snow cones so much more in theory than in execution.
Well, where are you getting your snow cone?
They
at?
can be hard to eat.
They're just across from the street from my Ace Hardware parking lot.
Oh.
What?
Ace Hardware in the back.
There's a shack. There's a little
There's
shack.
a place in Edmond called Bahama Bucks. That
Yes.
is kind of like a Hawaiian, like
The Hawaiian style ones.
Yeah.
They're really good.
shaved ice. They throw a little ice cream in it.
Hey, when they
Yeah.
say Hawaiian style, is that like because it's authentic? Like, did snow cones really come from Hawaii?
Ooh,
No,
I
it's
don't
the way
think
they
so.
it's the way they do the ice.
There's a difference between shaved ice and shave ice. I'm not
Oh,
kidding.
really?
Yep.
I'm not kidding, and I don't know which one's which.
It
It's the
doesn't-
stupidest thing I've ever heard.
No, it's not.
Every
It's dumb.
time you have a snow cone, don't you wish? I wish there was a little bit of alcohol in this, like a few shots of something.
A few shots?
Oh yeah.
Multiple?
Oh yeah.
I've not
at
not
least
thought that.
2,
No.
No.
like a Miami Vice.
No.
No,
I've made myself sick with flavor ice.
oh really?
I had 10 on Wednesday.
Like recently.
like this week.
Yeah,
Man.
and I haven't gone to the bathroom since. There's some chemical in there. Watch out.
Watch out!
I love a sparkling water.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
What's your
Oh.
favorite brand? What's your favorite brand? Let's rank them.
like a Topo Chico.
My wife
I
is
do like
on
it-
a bubbly
yeah.
kick right now.
Oh, bubbly. You're a bubbly family?
We used to be LaCroix.
Mm,
I
you
don't
made the
drink any
shift.
of them.
I'm
I don't
still
like
LaCroix. Pimple fruit or pamplemousse?
Yeah, pimple fruit. I love pimple fruit.
Pamplemousse.
Bubbly,
Pamplemousse.
bubbly is a full $1 cheaper
Yeah,
per 12 pack.
they're making a big push out there.
Because I'm assuming Bubbly's owned by.
It's eight.
Coke
It's an
or
8 here.
Pepsi or
It's an 8-pack. The bubbly.
Oh, is it? Is that the difference?
It's an 8-pack, and I go with it's like all American something, and it's
Hot
you
dog
get-
flavor.
You get the 12. It's blackberry flavored,
Ooh, I haven't had the blackberry.
and it's so good, and it's the cheapest at Walmart, and it is my favorite. The only bad thing is that the can looks like a beer, and so like I had one whenever I was coaching. Oh, it's a 12-pack. The 8-packs were $3 yesterday at Walmart.
Oh,
And so that's why I didn't go with it.
What is this What is bubbly?
Yeah. But
Really?
anyways, the can looks like a beer, and I was coaching my son's soccer team, holding one of them, and somebody thought I was coaching my kid's soccer team
Did someone
with
have
a beer.
Did someone have a problem with that?
It's a church league for children.
Nice, Andrew. You are a rebel.
Anyways, it's my favorite. It's unbelievable.
All right, let's move on to our next Twitter question, and this from @Kev_VH. Best moments in the Down to Dunk group text. Do we have any that spring to mind?
Fritter Nation, let me hear you.
Fritter Nation is definitely a highlight of.
Do
of
people know what we're talking about when we say Fritter
Yeah, I
Nation?
explained it the other day.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh, well, we've been eating fritters. We all love fritters except for Luke.
We've been pumping up apple fritters to each other on our text group until someone buys them.
Yep,
every week,
and it's
And it
called
was-
Fritter Nation.
It was until I bought them, and I thought the joke was that I would always say I was, and I never did. And then
Yeah.
I actually did one time, and ever since, every Friday since then, we've had fritters.
Yeah.
It's too many fritters.
Someone save me! I'm so sick of fritters.
Seriously.
Probably the 2016 playoffs with our text group was probably the highlight.
Okay,
When we're
remind
d-
me of some.
When we just are texting each other throughout the entire game.
Yeah.
And we're texting each other things not like strategy of the game, but we're texting things to each other thinking that it will help determine the outcome of the game.
Right, like we used to say, Scott Brooks blows goats.
And that he should be fired.
Yes, we used to say when he wasn't the coach anymore. Billy Donovan was the coach, but when Scott Brooks was the coach, we discovered that when we crapped on Scott Brooks in our text, it turned into good things on the court.
It helped every time. Yeah.
Also, a good one was earlier this week when I found out Jay was watching professional wrestling, and we texted about it for 30 minutes.
That's true.
But you guys hated that.
Yep, we did.
All right, guys. Hey, you know what I want to talk about, and I don't hate. Actually, I love Oklahoma Shirt Company. They helped us make our Paul George chicken fried rice shirt, and they were a pleasure to work with. And I highly recommend doing it. Anything you want on a shirt, they can put on it. And they are, if you just have an idea, they have artists that can make up a graphic for your t-shirt, and it is great. I know you'll be happy with your result. I was very happy with ours. They also have their Shirt of the Month Club, $10 a month, a new Oklahoma themed shirt every month. They also have Texas, Kansas, Missouri versions, I believe, if that's your thing. You just love states, you can get them all. And if there's a state that doesn't have a shirt and you want it, talk to them and they can make it for you. And guess what? I guarantee it'll be pretty cool. And be like, hey, man, where'd you get that sweet North Dakota shirt? Oklahoma Shirt Company. They can help you make it. They are great. Support those that support us, and they are one of them. And we like them a lot. Guys, I have one more question, though. It's, are you miffed? And are you paved?
Miffed and peeved.
Alex, you've been doing a lot of traveling.
Yeah.
Traveling sometimes miffs me off. Are you miffed?
Not about traveling.
What you miffed on?
I'm miffed about quote retweets.
Okay.
They're fine if you have something to say, but
they're fine if you have something to say.
But the thing that I'm seeing so much more and more.
Are you talking about stolen valor?
Well, stolen valor is an issue on Twitter.
With quote retweets.
I'm talking about the people who quote retweet and just say, I am screaming.
Yes.
Or say, I can't breathe.
Yes. I think that is just
Dead.
so they get the likes and the retweets.
Yeah.
It's stolen valor.
Yeah. I've been trying to limit my quote retweets more. I've been trying to just do a straight retweet, you know?
Yeah.
Credit the source.
I agree. I agree. Sometimes I see the quote retweet and it's something funny. I go back to the original one and do that one.
Yes.
That's
smart.
And I don't quote retweet. I don't think I do anyway.
It's good. It's good etiquette. Twitter etiquette.
It really is.
You know what I find myself always falling into is, and I'm being vulnerable with you guys.
Oh my God.
When I see a tweet and I think it's funny, I think, can I add to this to be a part of the funny of this tweet.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then sometimes, so I'll quote tweet it and try to add to the joke. And then sometimes I'll look back and be like, oh, you ruined the joke because it was a good joke that I thought was funny already.
So can you,
But you want to be a part of that joke. You know what I
Right,
mean?
right,
You
right.
want the I think I've committed stolen valor.
It's okay. It's now you know.
I didn't know, man. I didn't
We
know
all
that
did.
it was
We
all
all did.
like,
But if you're adding that, if you're trying to add to the joke and it makes it, I think that's okay. But he's saying the stuff with doesn't add to it. They're just saying like, OMG.
right.
Like that's just like a reaction that's like doesn't make it any funnier. I
Right.
think.
You could just retweet it.
Right.
And we understand from your retweet that you enjoyed it and that you want to share
And
it.
plus, with seeing so many people's likes now
Yeah.
on Twitter, I've started just liking stuff because I'm like, that's probably going to show up on people's feeds anyways.
Mm,
Yeah.
that's true.
so what's a circumstance in which you would? What are the rules for
Quote retweeting?
retweeting?
If
Yeah.
you're adding like a substantial thought onto it, so you're commenting on it beyond just a pure like emotional reaction.
Right. And because you could just comment to the tweet, but then your followers won't see it. So if it's something that you have an opinion or a comment or something to add to it that you want your followers to see, right?
Yeah, you don't need to quote retweet and say this is funny. You could just retweet it because we could probably figure that out.
Right.
Oh, I don't know why this guy retweeted this thing. What could it possibly be?
Why didn't he quote retweet this?
Yeah.
Do you get it?
I guess.
Do you
Yeah.
get it?
Yeah.
Are you miffed about anything, Andrew?
I was at Walmart before the rainstorm started yesterday, and then was there during it, and had to leave Walmart. And so,
Why?
well, to go home.
Oh,
Was it loud in the Walmart?
It was incredibly loud.
Oh, yeah.
You couldn't hear anybody. Everyone was just, all the Walmart employees were just yelling at each other. But I had to sprint with my cart out. And it's just like, I created a wake behind me with my cart.
Oh yeah.
And I was just completely just soaked from head to toe.
Oh, man.
But it was kind of fun.
Sexy.
It was kind of fun.
yeah, that sounds really fun.
It was actually super fun.
You started crying in the car. You're like, I haven't had fun in weeks. I just realized.
No, it's great. It was. I'm really not even that miffed about it.
I'm miffed.
What are you miffed about?
What you miffed about?
Bed frames.
Oh, tell me about it.
Oh, let me tell you about it. It's impossible to find a dang bed frame. Did you know this?
Preach.
Okay. So, fiance and I get a new bed. We get a queen size bed. We had a full size bed before. We need a new bed frame because the dogs sleep under the bed. They need room to get under there. They like to sleep under there. So, we're going to look for a normal bed frame. We go to Target. They don't have bed frames. We go to Walmart. They don't have bed frames.
You can't just order it.
You need to go to like Mathis.
Hold
Bros.
on.
Okay,
We
okay,
went to
okay.
Bed Bath and Beyond.
You're going to the wrong place.
You are going to the
You
wrong
got to take a
places.
step up.
I'm
man.
sorry. This store has the word bed in it. We went to Bed Bath and Beyond. They don't have bed frames. We had to go to, and then we thought, yeah, we should go to a mattress store. Well, and then we went and we found one immediately. But
Yes.
but the places where you want to go, I mean, come on, Bed Bath and Beyond. You've been in Bed Bath and Beyond?
I have.
They have a trillion items in there.
Yeah.
It is.
It's-
It's engrossing. You want to go. You can't go for 5 to 10 minutes because you end up spending just 30 just looking around.
It's anxiety inducing, and they don't have bed frames.
See, I find it very calming.
Amazon has bed frames.
Yeah, I was gonna say, why don't you
Well,
just
we
buy
needed
one?
one. We just bought the bed. We bought it
So-
from a friend. We bought a mattress. We needed it that day.
So you went up to what size did you used to have,
Full. We went to a queen.
and how is the extra space?
It's only 7 inches, but that makes all the difference. Did you know that? Did you know
No.
the difference between a full and a queen is 7 inches? And it's longer, so it's good for me because my feet always hung out the bed. And now it's great, and it makes all the difference. Let me tell you.
my dream is to have 1, a California king size mattress, 2, a home that can support a California king size mattress.
yeah.
Because right now I'd have to be in my living room.
King's California King is just longer.
Also,
Not
it's
wider.
But I
also
want
it's
it.
wider than it's less wide than a king. Did you know that?
Do you remember Al Jefferson's
want
bed?
it.
Al Jefferson's bed?
You remember Shaq's bed?
I remember
Al
Shaq's
Jefferson
bed.
bought a $20,000 bed.
I think that's smart. Here's my bed
Don't-
theory.
you spend this much on a car, like you wouldn't bat an eye at spending $20,000 on a car.
Oh,
right?
No eyes batted.
But you're going to
You
spend
spend at least
more
6
time.
to 8 hours every night.
You're going to
in your
spend
bed.
more time in your bed, so you should
Valid.
spend more money on your bed.
I would
I
feel
agree.
really conflicted taking out a loan for a bed.
Yo, man, I've
You
almost
know
got my
what?
bed paid off.
Yeah,
You know
I'm
what
saying.
though?
and
I'm
it's
with
already
Luke.
falling apart.
That seems like the right thing to take a loan out for. So
I'm
I
saying.
think we've got our priorities.
Hey, let's call
Yeah.
up Dave Ramsey.
Yeah.
See what he thinks about
Hey,
this.
hey, Dave.
For
We're
real.
thinking about taking out a $20,000 loan for a bed. What do you think about
What
that?
I'm saying, if you're sleeping well, it is going to make every other aspect
Yeah,
of your life better.
But the
True.
beauty is you don't have to spend $20,000 to get
I
a bed
know.
that's good.
I know. I'm saying,
You didn't have to spend the amount of money you did on your car
but
either, but there's a
I'm
reason you
saying-
bought that car.
I'm saying spend 10.
Wow.
I'm saying spend 10, and not that I've done it, but I want to do it.
Oh wow, that's a huge bed.
I mean, it's gigantic.
He
This is
could
Al
have
Jefferson's bed. It is.
so many people on
He's gigantic, and he could lay 20 of themselves in it.
it. He looks like a toy version of
Is
himself.
it like the bed from A Shot at Love with Tila Tequila?
Oh, we don't want to know what happened on that bed.
Thanks for listening to our pod.
But guys, back to the queen size mattress. I've been sleeping like a queen on that.
You remember this one?